Hello, everybody. This is Conservative Knight here with just a small video on a very local topic. Um, Particularly in the Young Turks' idiotic response to the the Missouri riots and their list of demands for, Missouri University, whatever their official name is. And especially if you're black, and no, I do not use the term African American. Why? Because not all blacks are African Americans. Let's just get that one out of the way right now. Okay, so I will refer to the race in its proper form. Just I will refer to myself as a white man, and not saying that proudly, so it's just the pigment of my skin. Okay? But anyhow, I'd like to show you guys something. And I am from just south of a little bitty city called Detroit, Michigan. I'm from just south of there, just 100 miles south or whatever. And this issue hits home to me, especially considering the collapse of the manufacturing sector that occurred in that area, now known as the Rust Belt, which has affected both Michigan and Ohio. So, as much as we're rivals, I'm an Ohio person, by the way. As much as we're rivals, those who are from there, particularly northern Ohio or southern Michigan, parts of Pennsylvania, Indiana, Illinois, you know what I'm talking about. I'd like to go through the list of Democratic governors from mayors of Detroit from 1970 on. And this can even go back to 1962, as you can see. You notice a pattern? And mind you, Detroit is 82% black. It's been steadily rising for the past 30 years. It's went from about 10% black to the 82% that it is now. So, you think that Democrats are the party that wants to help you? Let me ask you a question. 50 years of decline in Detroit. And you've seen cities all around your city. All of Detroit's suburbs are doing fine. They're all doing fine. But yet, Detroit continues to be horrible, and the same for Cleveland, it's the same for Toledo, it's the same for a bunch of other cities in that area. What have they done to help you in the last 50 years? All the promises, all this, we're going to fix the racial disparity. How have they helped you? I'd like you to tell me that in the comments. Post in the comments right now, stop this video, if you have an answer to this, because I really want to know. How have all these Democratic mayors who have promised improvements, who have promised all these things to you, all these benefits for the working class, how have they helped you? In any city, you don't have to live in Detroit to answer this. In any city, how have Democratic policies helped you? And hell, even if you're not black and you want to answer this, go on ahead. I'm open to all arguments for this. And if you can provide me with something that has helped the black community, I'd like to know it. Because I'm a man of knowledge, I'm a man of fact, I'm a man of numbers. So if you can give me something substantial, something that I can look at, I can post in a video and say, here, I am wrong, and these are the numbers that show it. Post it. Stop the video and post it now. That being said, if you haven't stopped the video by now to post a comment, I'm assuming you have no answer. And so here's the thing. I'm going to put it real straight to you guys. And this is just for politicians. I'm not saying all liberals are like this. They're not. There's a lot of very sympathetic liberals out there who truly do want to end racial disparity, but even they are incredibly misguided because the politicians, these liberal politicians, here's the thing that's going to knock you out. They don't want to help you. This income disparity, this 1.5 to 1 income disparity, the Democrats do not want that to decrease. And let me tell you why. It's all about your vote. It is all about your vote. That is it. Let that sink in. All this is about, all this talk about equality, affirmative action, welfare programs, fair shake, hand up instead of a handout by Bill Clinton. It's all talk. Because by you remaining in poverty, by you remaining at the bottom, they get your vote for free. All they have to do is say the things you want to hear. It's all talk. That's all it is. They're trying to get in your heads. And I hate to say it. You can call me what you want, but it's worked. It has worked. It has worked amazingly. And it's not just blacks that they've done this to. They've done this to other groups. They've basically split this country from a single united country into a series of demographics. We are now a series of demographics. We are not united in a single place anymore. The Democratic Party has successfully divided this country. And it's not just the fault of the blacks, it's not just the fault of the Democrats. Republicans have something in this too. They have something big in this, and that is the one point that the Democrats do have. And I love the fact that Ben Carson pointed this out. He either did it in a debate or in a speech. Is the Republicans have completely ignored it. They say they want to pull in votes, but they ignore that there is such a disparity. They try to deflect on the disparity by simply debunking individual facts. There is a disparity. And it's not because they're racist, but because they back off from the issue, the Democrats can call them racist. It's a lot more complicated than racism. The reason conservatives are not engaging is because throughout history, even through civil rights, mind you, because don't forget, or if you never knew, now you're going to know, even during the 1960s when you had all these Democrats, nearly every Democrat in the South voting against civil rights, the blacks still favored them. They got the black vote even then. During segregation, when they were treated like crap. I don't know the specifics of how they got it, What I'm guessing is it's a situation similar to now where they offer to care for blacks rather than make them equal, treat them as equally valid citizens. But I don't know. That's just entire speculation on my part. But the point is this: Republicans got to stop being cowards. You got to stop cowering before the Democrats and being on the defensive. Because we're right on this issue. We are 100% right, and you can look at the numbers. I've posted the numbers. I believe in my last video, or the video before last, before my Carson endorsement. I posted the numbers. Income disparity is lowest in the South, it is highest in the North. That is from the U.S. Census Bureau. You do not get more direct than that. And a lot of it comes from cities like this, from Detroit, from Chicago, from New York. That's where it comes from. And it's just sad to see that Democrats who are causing the problem run unopposed on this. And all Republicans can do is play defense. Let's not play defense anymore. And I'll tell you this right now, too. The media obsession with keeping Ben Carson down, desperately trying to find any and everything, trying to debunk claims that he made 20 years ago. He wrote his autobiography, Gifted Hands, 20 years ago, about things he did 30 years before that. It's getting desperate. And he strongly points it out. Ben Carson has fought to show that Democrats are racist. He is the only one, and he is the only one who feels like he can, because unlike Republicans, he doesn't have to defend himself. He is a black man from Detroit. You do not get any clear cut than that. He is representative of somebody who made his own way, based on his own superior intellect and nothing else. No help from a rich man. No buddy with other politicians like Bernie Sanders, marching with Socialist Party marches, joining fraternities. Not being a part of an already wealthy family. He made his own way in his own way. And he is a perfect representation of the American dream. And it's just, the way they're trying to beat on him is silly, and it is getting to him because this is a man who's practiced neurosurgery. He's seen a lot of horrible things. When he tried to separate those Siamese twins, that was an 18-hour surgery. And he had to watch two people die as he failed to separate them and let them survive. And he came very, very close to them surviving. Very close. They were separated and alive. That is a heartbreaking story. I welcome you guys to read that story. It is a very, very sad story, particularly of the lives that they lived. They did a documentary on that. I still remember it, and it broke my heart. But this is a man who's seen things like this throughout his entire life. He is a very soft spoken, hypersensitive man because he has seen families both love him and cry in grief as he could not save somebody he tried to save. It's a sad thing to see the media do this to somebody like this. Dehumanize, butcher his reputation, tell lies. He's backed up everything he said, but you don't hear one peep from the media. Not one peep. Will you get an apology from the media? Will we? No. Because they don't apologize. Here's another thing that sickens me about the media. And Ben Carson brings this up too. A big reason why I'm voting for him is because him and Trump are the only two willing to point this out, and that is the media. It's the media's job to report on the facts and the positions. X person said something to Y person responds to X. Independent research says A, B, and C about the situation. That's the way the media is supposed to go, but yet everybody in the media now wants to interject their opinions. It's not your job. It is your job to be a filter of information, not a displayer of opinions. It is not the job of the media to hold a position or to demonstrate a position. They can hold one, but your job is to report on the facts. Just who said what and what happened. That's it. And yet you're even starting to get it from field reporters too, which is even worse. It's got to stop. All of this, the lies, the race baiting, it's got to stop. We have to recognize where these problems are and find solutions to them. Even if the solution is keep your hands off, find a solution. So, in closing, I'll just say this. Whenever you hear a Democrat talk to you about conservatives being racist, go to this wiki page and look at who your representatives have been in these large metropolitan areas. Tell me this. Don't tell me what they've said. What have they done for you? And see, once you get the Democrats to stop the racial pandering and start treating you, the blacks, as normal citizens that are just as smart, just as capable, just as able, without the need for excessive help any more than what another person gets. It's not demeaning to ask for help. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is you're not so inferior that you have to be accepted with 10 points lower of an acceptance score. because I know you can get that same score as a white person. I know it. I've talked to lots and lots of black people. In fact, they I've had more black best friends than white best friends in my life. And if you allow them to be, they are just as smart as anybody else. All there is just a pigment of skin. Tell the Democrats that, please, please rise above this. Because once you get Democrats to stop being racist, the Republicans will stop ignoring the issue. Because they'll feel like they truly and honestly can interact with your community again and not be scared off by the threat of losing elections over being combative over the race of it, over the issue of race. Thanks so much for listening. God bless, guys.